again, the points 3, 4, and 5 are where we're using AI. 1 and 2, we're still doing it the
Join
old-fashioned
thousands of
way.
creators. Educate.
Um, so I'll take you through step by step and describe each phase and where we used AI and a few little hacks for you to create content. So the idea, and we're doing this the old-fashioned way with one of our copywriters, was to convey the idea that our platform's very flexible. So I won't deal with this very much because we didn't use AI for it, but it's all about transformational savings for your business and the fact that LearnWells is transformational. From that, we generally develop a theme heading or various headlines for our various campaigns. And the copywriter in this case, one of the lines they came up with, the LMS by e-learning experts for everything experts. And we like that idea for everything experts on our platform, whatever you're selling or demoing or educating your clients. You can use LearnWells for just about everything. So this idea of multiple users. So in point 3 or stage 3, this is where we started to use AI a little bit. And if you sign up for Midjourney, which is I think it's like €8 a month at the moment, they have a specific web page app now, which is great because before you had to go through Discord, which wasn't very good. And one of the great things about their new web-based app is that you can use it like Pinterest or Google image search. So you're able to search, and the results are the collective output of all Midjourney users in the world. So it's become my de facto image searching platform, really. And the cool thing about this is, you can go and have a look at an image, and you can also see the prompt that was used to generate that image. So if you're just getting started, maybe that's a really interesting idea to start playing around how other people have generated their content. Now, as I was searching, I thought it'd be quite nice to write Friday in a style, and I came across this image here that I thought, well, that's quite interesting. If we could end up writing Friday, but with the tools of a trade of somebody who's actually teaching. In this case, it could be like drafting or a technical drawing course. That might be an interesting avenue to pursue. So in Midjourney, I continued to step 4, which I started prompting now. So I just started with, and Midjourney does work cumulatively. So sometimes it struggles with a complex word like Friday, but if you start with a simple letter and kind of build up, if you see what I mean, it will eventually be able to do the whole word for you. So I just started with simple letters and numbers. And I thought, well, maybe if somebody's got a flower arranging school or a painting school, we could try this prompt. So the prompts in Midjourney are quite simple. So I just said 3D, render a 3D scene of the letter C made from thick oil-based paint, in this case, a cyan color. I want it to be a photographic quality, white background, and an aspect ratio of 1:1. So that's just a square. The next one was a flower arranging. So a flower arranging school. So it's the same, exactly the same. I just asked it to produce, in this case, it says a letter C. It's actually the letter 3 or the number 3 made from flower arrangement, and you get this kind of amazing result. So then in production, what I thought would be really cool to do was to use the word Friday and prompt it just like all the possible users of our school. So for an art school prompt, I used oil, the thick oil paint, but in this time pink. Maybe you run a hardware support training site. So in this case, the fried eggs executed as circuit boards, or you have a British language school, so the Union Jacks made of the Friday, or an Asian cooking school. So um, amazing, amazing quality for the production. And this was our entire campaign. I wanted to do completely in AI to see how it would perform, and I'm really pretty happy with the results. So then we kind of go back to the old way of doing things and use use the AI in Photoshop, which is Firefly, to take the background away from the words so it can sit on a web background. And then, the website carousels through all these various different schools. So whatever you're teaching, start creating your online course. So based on based on that based on that framework, I wanted to show how you could simply apply um, AI to a campaign for your school that Elisa, the assets I'm creating now, Elisa will use in her demo later on in the presentation. So in the same Mid-Journey application, I rendered Friday made from data points because I thought it would be kind of interesting for a leadership school to have a more kind of infographic kind of effect. And it produced this, which I kind of thought was quite interesting. Because it also matched the dark greys and the oranges that I'd asked a traditional ChatGPT prompt to produce. So the colors, it was just a simple prompt in ChatGPT, act as a graphic designer and suggest font pairings and colors for a Black Friday campaign. These were all separate little mini prompts, but it selected these colors, which I asked to receive the results in the hex code, so Elisa can put those into the LearnWell's platform. With the font, it came up with Montserrat, which is a typical Google font, but lots of different weights, so you can play around with the weights on your web page. That was quite interesting. So, and then I used the Mid-Journey result, and then it's just an assemblage. I used Photoshop. I used Figma, in fact, but you can use Photoshop or even PowerPoint to produce, these images that you would need for an email background or a course card or a web page wallpaper, as long as you're outputting them in the right resolution. So this was the framework that we used for us, and I wanted to show you so you could potentially use it to create the assets for your Black Friday campaign. So I'll hand it back over to Elisa.
Thank you, Mark. And isn't it amazing how otherwise all of this would have needed a whole team of graphic designers and people just to generate all of those assets and come up with the color palette and everything we're going to need? Then you could do that, just with the right prompting and the right AI tools. Okay, so now I'm going to share my screen and I'll show you guys how we have applied the assets and everything so far into the demo school that we've created. So hopefully you can see my screen right here. This is inside, so the admin dashboard of the school that we saw earlier, the demo school, which is this one right here, the Leadership Academy. But before I show you the pages, I wanted to show you something over here inside the dashboard. So in LearnWorlds, we have something called SciFlavors. So what this does is that it allows you to clone your school, create a copy of it, and then essentially flavor it and dress it however you want and enable that flavored version whenever you want in special occasions. One of those could be while you're running a Black Friday campaign, or I don't know, a New Year's campaign, a 4th of July campaign. As you can imagine, you may want to flavor or dress your school only for a specific time frame for when you want to have a specific offer or Black Friday, right? And then revert it back to your original. Just this alone, imagine how much of a time saver it is. And this is exactly what we did here. So we cloned this use case tool that we created for leadership, and then we kind of like flavored it and we added all the assets that Mark generated. So I'll show you a closer look. So this is how typically that would look like. We have the landing page over here. You got the logo, the Leadership Academy, just some information about it, a nice clean image here, some more information about unlocking the value of leadership, just taking you through the page so that you can see the immediate transformation with the Black Friday flavor that we created with the assets that Mark generated. So you see here we have products that we're showcasing and so on. Now, let me take you over to the Black Friday version of that, which is, again, you can see right here. So you see that right away, the school changed completely, the homepage changed completely in terms of the colors, in terms of the images, and you'll see we've applied the images that Mark created, the one with Black Friday, and I do agree it perfectly matches the school. It looks great, not only in terms of the colors, the images as well. You see we have our courses here as well, but it looks completely different because it's the Black Friday version, right? And you see right here, we're also showcasing some extra offers that in the regular school we didn't have, like offers that are time sensitive and only limited to Black Friday. Let's say this one right here, a flash learn frenzy, 20% off on courses. Or as we mentioned earlier, if you remember, AI suggested that we also not only have a call to action regarding Black Friday offers, but that we also offer a freebie. And you can do that absolutely, like offer a freebie in return of their email, so that they can get, let's say, a downloadable ebook or another digital file, and they can instead give you their email. So this is also something that is optional. You can do that, and you'll see we place that option into the homepage. So this is how different it looks like. So I'm going to take you over to our theme explorer now to show you just how easy it is to apply some other things that Mark generated in the asset. So not only the images that you see over here, but also the color palette, right? So you can go in here into the color section and just add it in whatever AI produced for you, or the colors, either select them from a color scheme or just directly hard code and add the code, the hex code of the color, just to get the exact shade that you want. It doesn't stop here. Mark also mentioned a specific font. We've generated that over here. Sorry, we've added that and selected that over here. And so the whole school, wherever there is headings or main text, they will be with the font that AI suggested through the prompts. Same would go for any buttons and inputs if you want to keep them in the same color palette. So all of that is in here as well. Now, let me show you something else right here. So over here, just another way for you to place your offers or anything you have concerning the campaign. So here, for instance, I'm over at a course page where you can click on the course. You can see the payment options. We have a nice offer going on over here. Now, if I scroll through this page, you'll see that this will pop up. So we even have a pop-up, and this is yet another way for you to place an offer that you may have. So not only add them directly into your homepage or perhaps through other various channels that we'll see, but also you can do that in the form of pop-ups right inside the school. You can decide where they're going to show, what's going to trigger them. For me, I made it so that once they scroll, this is going to pop up, but it's absolutely up to you. So just another way, another option for you to place an offer related to your campaign. Just something else that I'm going to show. Also in the beginning, if you remember through the prompt, it even suggested that we create some content in form of a blog. So this is exactly what we did here. We've created a blog, and we've generated some articles on that blog just to kind of like attract some more organic leads. We can do that from here. So an article is this: why now is the perfect time to invest in leadership skills. You see, this is kind of like time sensitive, right? 3 leadership skills you need for 2025. And I feel like these were exactly the ones that AI suggested, right? So we added those. And of course, the blog doesn't limit to only creating the articles, but you can also place yet another promotion. So a ton of ways and areas where you can place and promote the campaign offers you've created for Black Friday. So far, we've seen the homepage, we've seen the course page, we've seen the blog, the pop-up. So honestly, you can add it in so many areas across the school. Let me see if there's anything else I want to show. I'll show that towards the end. Okay, so this was it regarding the demo. Allow me to go back into the presentation over here. And hold on. And let's move over with the next part. All right, so next up, this part is going to be covered by George. So he's going to start talking about crafting the offerings, right? Because so far we've seen some of the assets and how to apply this onto our school, into the platform. But how do we come up with all of those offers that you saw, like the discounts and all of that? How do we find those? So let's see, George,
And
and
that's
then we'll.
the
Yes.
hopefully $1 million question,
Yeah.
and here to help you with the help of AI as well. So as we mentioned a lot of times before, the key to brainstorming and getting value out of ChatGPT or any other algorithm is to provide a very clear context. So this time, since you might not be an economist or a business intelligence expert or even a marketing expert, AI can actually be a good starting point to start brainstorming and going through your ideas. And the first point is to define your goals, which is very important because this will also provide the algorithm with the proper context in order to help you generate your actual strategy, your actual discount offerings. So the prompt is very much similar to the way that we've used in the previous slides. You start with some context on your role and what you want to do. What is your school about? What's your business about? What's your audience? And what it is that you want to achieve. So in these cases, you would replace the numbers with the metrics that realistically reflect what your school's goals are about and what your business is about. So in our example, it provided some KPIs like an increase in the subscription signups or the standalone course sales and the new customer acquisition. Having that well established, we then continue with a bit of a longer prompt that will actually be generating your discount strategy. So you can see on the right hand of the screen what we used in our own example. We provided our current offerings and the pricing points that we have, the previous year's sales performance, what the competitors are doing, some stuff about costs, as well as how much our customer support is currently costing us, and sales trends. Really whatever you feel is relevant to your use case. And on the next slide, we actually see what the algorithm generated, which is actually quite impressive. This is actually how we ended up with the discounts that we demonstrated, that Elisa demonstrated previously. So for our case, it's a 25% discount on standalone courses, a 15% discount on our subscription, our base level subscription, and a 20% discount in our elite subscription. So the reason why we have already input some of the existing sales trends and our pricing points is so that the discount is not big enough that it would eliminate any of our profits. And it also outputs some key performance indicators. Some of these will play a part in the last part of our presentations when we will be speaking more about measuring your impact and how you did. For now, passing the ball to Harmony, who will show us how to get the word out there through email marketing.
Okay, yes. Hi, everyone. I'm Harmony from MailerLite. And just to introduce a little bit about MailerLite, MailerLite is an email marketing platform. So it's basically your all-in-one place for campaigns, forms, websites, all of your marketing assets. And of course, it can be used by any brand throughout any time of the year for sales, promotions, any type of communication that you want to have with your subscribers. But of course, in this case, we're talking specifically about Black Friday because it's one of the biggest sales times of the year, and email marketing campaigns are a big part of that. So just some statistics, if you don't already know, of course, Black Friday, Cyber Monday is a big sales time of the year. Specifically when it comes to emails and open rates, typically emails see an increase of 12% when it comes to open rates, which for open rates, that's pretty good. And emails with Black Friday in the subject line tend to see higher open rates as well, up to 20%. Of course, people are expecting deals around this time, so when they see these things, they're already expecting some kind of coupon or sale or something like that. And of course, personalization. So this means adding your subscriber's name or just any details you have on the subscriber if they purchased from you before, adding maybe something that they're interested in based on their previous purchase. Personalization adds a lot to emails, and it also boosts your conversion rates, 6 times higher conversion rates, especially during Black Friday, Cyber Monday. So this is something that we recommend doing in your emails anytime, but especially during this time of the year when you are sending out a lot of things. And of course, a lot of emails are open on mobile this time. So instead of just focusing on what things look like on a desktop, always look like to see what it looks like both on mobile and on a laptop, because 61% of all emails, especially during this time of year, are opened on mobile devices. And these are all things you can do in MailerLite. I will go over into the platform and show you how the campaign builder looks. But these are just all things to keep in mind during this time of year. When it comes to sending out Black Friday campaigns, so if you have your content that you've gotten from the AI platform and you're ready to create your marketing campaigns, this is a typical sequence that we recommend. So this is just kind of a standard sequence, starting with a teaser email about a week before Black Friday or a little bit more even. And this is to create anticipation. So you can mention the offer, but it's not ready yet. Just mention that it's coming and mention the date and when it starts and what the offer is, just to build that anticipation. The next email could be something along the lines of a countdown email, we would call it. So this is also to create anticipation, to remind your subscribers of the offer. And we call it a countdown email because in MailerLite, you can add things like countdown timers, interactive things to actually show when the discount is running out, when the time is running out. Then, of course, you have your main offer email, and that is sent on the morning of Black Friday or just when the offer is starting. If it's the night, the morning, whatever. When the offer is happening, that main email goes out. After that, you can send out reminder emails. So the amount of reminder emails, it really depends on how long your campaign is running for. If it's running for a while, you want to send out a few reminder emails. If it's a one-day sale, maybe just one that day. It really depends on the length. But we do recommend sending out reminder emails after the main offer. And then, of course, a last chance. So just sales ending, this is your last chance to take advantage of it. And this is kind of your typical sale promotional sequence when it comes to marketing emails, but specifically for Black Friday, this is what we recommend. And on the next slide, I have a few just so a few strategies for Black Friday email marketing. So some things to keep in mind when you are creating your sequences, when you are creating these emails. So we recommend to, as mentioned before, build anticipation with a multi-stage email sequence. So you notice I didn't just say to send one email announcing the sale. It was to send multiple emails in a sequence. Anticipation emails, reminder emails, countdown emails, main offer. It might seem like a lot, but for sales promotion for this time of year, this is the strategy that you want to follow because it does help increase those sales when you're reminding your subscribers of the offers that you have and creating that anticipation beforehand. And of course, creating urgency with the sale ending email, as I mentioned before. And we see some examples here. These were actually created using some of the AI assets that we were showing before. So just showing how they can be applied in a email marketing campaign. So you have the countdown timer on the left there showing when the deal runs out. And then you have on the right showing the clear CTAs, what the offer is and where to find it and everything. So this is a good example of what these emails can look like. And next slide. And also, as mentioned, you can also extend the sale by running a post-sale campaign. That's another common strategy. So if you are seeing a lot of sales during this time period and you want to extend, for example, Cyber Monday, because during this season you have Black Friday and you have Cyber Monday. So it's kind of a long weekend of sale opportunities. So if you want to think about how to extend your sales period to capture late buyers, you can also do that as well, especially depending on how you are selling your if it's more online, if it's more in store, depending on how that is, you might want to take advantage of Cyber Monday versus Black Friday, depending on what your strategy is. As mentioned before, rewarding loyal customers. So the elite customers, this is all using segmentation. So when you have your email marketing platform like MailerLite, you have a big list of all your subscribers, but you also want to break down into smaller lists. So these can be if you have different schools or different classes, different students, different groups, anything like that. You want to break down into different lists so that you can target your segments that way. Also using social proof to boost trust, student testimonials, any reviews that you have to boost credibility, and of course, personalized post-purchase emails. I mentioned personalization. Post-purchase just means that the personalization is related to the things that your subscribers are purchasing. So it could be their past history, it could be what they're interested in, it could be suggestions, anything to personalize along that way. And this is another example here of an email. And this can all be done using both the LearnWorlds and MailerLite integration. So bringing them together, you can connect the two platforms so that all of the contacts that you collect in LearnWorlds can be sent over to MailerLite. So you can manage your school in LearnWorlds and then send your email campaigns in MailerLite. And that allows you to send all of the contacts through, create groups, segments, send out automations, and then also personalize all of your emails as well. And I will jump over into a short demo so you can see what our platform looks like and what it looks like to create a campaign. And as I'm doing that, you'll see a few different features here, most of them AI related. So just give me one moment to switch over here. Okay, I believe everyone can see my screen. So this is the MailerLite dashboard. This is what it looks like. If I want to get started creating a campaign, I can easily just go here, create campaign. There's several different types. We're just going with a regular one. We'll call this a demo. And if I want to be simple, I can say, Black Friday subject line. But if I want some help from AI, I can go right here. And this allows me to choose a tone of voice. Let's go with friendly. What type of campaign this is. Let's say it's an announcement. And we want to be more creative. So leadership, school, Black Friday promotion. And you can choose different languages here as well. Once we generate that, we see lots of different options. If we like any of them, we can simply just click insert to choose the one we want. If we're not happy, we can regenerate and it brings up a new list for us to choose from. But let's say I like this one. And of course, we can edit if we want to change anything about it. I will select my recipients. These are all the different groups. So this is all things that you can create in MailerLite. When you bring your subscribers over, you can have them all on one list, as well as the different smaller lists as well. So let's just choose one as an example and move on to what it looks like to create a campaign. So we do have a few Black Friday, they're right here. Black Friday templates that we've just released. So let's choose one. And of course, if you are creating assets in things like Midjourney or image creation, we do have the ability, you can bring all of that into MailerLite. So any AI images that you create outside of the platform, you can bring into using your campaigns. This is just kind of a basic design, but you can see you have the countdown timer, the CTAs, everything clearly laid out. If we want some ideas, I can choose the AI generator in here. This works the exact same way as what I showed before, except it allows you to create just longer text. So promotion for leadership school. And it will do the same thing, natural tone, short paragraph. And we can change anything we like. Once we're done, we exit the platform. And now we get ready to send the campaign. This is the last step. Once everything is done and created, we check out all of the details, different ways to send it. Send it right now, later, on time, based on time zones, Or because we're talking about AI, we'll choose Smart Sending. Smart Sending is a feature we have that uses AI to analyze the behavior of your subscribers. So it looks at past open rates, past click rates, things like that, and it chooses the best time to send it to them. So each subscriber will receive at a different time based on what's optimal for them. And then you can, select more detail here and schedule. And that is it. Let me stop sharing. And I believe that is all for me.
Thank you so much, Harmony. All right, hold on a second I'm going to take you guys back to the presentation over here. Just go over to the next slides. All right, so this next part I am covering as well. So like Harmony said, hold on, let me put this to full screen. 1 second. So you guys. Okay, so one channel is email marketing, and it's great. As you can see, it allows you to do so many things. And I am guilty of that. I definitely get a lot of emails during Black Friday, and I do open most of them on my mobile phone. So I guess that number over there is accurate. So besides the emails, of course, we have other channels to promote our coupons, our campaigns, and one of that is social media, right? So what do we have here? We have some more AI-powered tips into boosting your Black Friday promotion. So the things that you'll see here are courtesy of these experts, Mari Smith and Konstantinos Kliris. They both spoke on this year's WOL 2024 Summit event that we have. Now, here in this presentation, we're not actually covering a whole entire social media campaign because obviously that would require more than an hour. But rather, we're going to mention some highlights from the speech that Mari and Konstantinos gave on this topic. That means that, so more specifically, we will see additions with AI on the Meta and on Google Ads. Now, that means that even if you don't have like a deep performance marketing expertise, these AI tools from Meta and Google can help you perform high in ads. So I do encourage you, though, to click on these links and actually go through the full session of Mari and Konstantinos. Don't worry, you will get the deck into your email tomorrow, and you can go ahead and check it out. I would definitely suggest doing that. So let me jump into some more details. So AI-powered Facebook marketing. So if you want to promote your campaign through Meta, that means Messenger, that means Instagram, that means Facebook, so wherever Meta is, there's an option on that. So, and why not? This is a perfect time to grow your audience right before we approach Black Friday. So what can you do over here is that you can create leads directly in the Ads Manager by selecting leads as your campaign objective. And besides that, there's also a pro tip over here. You can use Instant Forms and Messenger to just directly engage with your audience in real time. And that would mean, again, Facebook, Messenger, or Instagram. So this is great, a great option over here. Next up, we have the Meta's built-in AI capabilities. So Mari Smith in her speech also highlighted just how Meta's AI features make the ad creation much easier. And it does indeed, because one of the most powerful tools is this advantage in audience. So what Meta does is that it automatically finds your ideal audience for you using their own vast data sets that they have. So this is extremely helpful. So essentially, it allows you to focus more on creating the campaign, on creating the school, and Meta does this for you, selecting the audience. Rather than you manually doing it and selecting the audience. Another great option over here is the AI-generated ad copy variation. So what is this? Meta actually gives you multiple versions of your copy of your headlines and your primary text so that you can test which message resonates better with your audience, which one performs better. And as you can see here in the screenshots, it easily just offers multiple suggestions for your main text and your copies over here on Meta. And I'm going to move over to the next slide. So besides Meta, we also have Google Ads. So specifically for Google Ads, Konstantinos was the one who spoke on the wall, and he gave us great insights on how to use the Google Ads tool over here. So this allows you to run campaigns across all Google platforms, meaning the search, Google search, display, YouTube, Gmail, and just all in one campaign. So it obviously uses AI to optimize your ads in real time. What stands out over here is that it uses is the use of generative AI for content creation. This means that it will automatically generate text, it will generate images, and even videos that are specifically tailored to your audience. So even if, for instance, the design isn't your strong suit, well, you're still covered. You know, you can still create pretty compelling ads with Google Ads. And something last over here, there is something that is called the ads strength, right? So obviously you want this as high as possible because the higher this is, the higher is the conversion rate. Now, of course, if you choose to do this manually without having AI to assist you, you can do a pretty good job, but it has shown that actually the ad strength improves much better when doing it with AI. And of course, this results in a 60% increase in the conversions that you will have. So yes, you can create your ads manually in Google Ads, but I would definitely suggest using the AI tools that it offers so that you can have a better conversion rate essentially over here. All right, so I think that was it with the channel. So we saw email, we saw Meta, and we saw Google Ads. Let's move over to the next part of the presentation, where once more we will hear from George, and he's going to talk about post-campaign analysis. So he mentioned something about KPI. So let's see how we can use AI for this part of the campaign process. George?
Thanks, Elisa. So I guess let's time travel now. We're after Black Friday. Everything has been amazing so far. You've had your content, you've had your emails, you have your discounts, and now you have a bunch of data that you don't really know what to do with because, again, let's assume that you're just a person or a small team that doesn't have full-fledged BI support or a full-fledged team to run your reports and your analysis. So once again, ChatGPT comes to the rescue. A few caveats, of course, that we need to keep in mind here. In order to craft your reports with AI, first of all, use the best model that you can if you have access to it. ChatGPT 4 is quite good, quite potent. The previous versions, not so much. That's what we've been using also for this demo over here. Make sure to always provide context before each and every of your questions. What is the role that you want ChatGPT to play? What are your business priorities, your product, your currency even, which can be quite important. The format of the dates, if you have a different location, if you're based on the US, the month will be before the day. In Europe, it will be the other way around. So this is very important for ChatGPT to be able to parse your data sets, as well as any details of your offer, your pricing points, and your discounts. Make sure to always include any limitations in your data. So in case you, for example, you don't have subscription metrics, you don't have churn metrics because you don't have a subscription management system, you should mention that to ChatGPT, because this way it will also propose the best KPIs that you can measure based on the data that you have available to you. Also, make sure to include any knowledge that is not easily quantifiable. So strategies, competitive landscape, potential news that are related to your course subject matter, or any stuff that might actually be affecting your campaign or affecting your strategies that are not quantifiable in your datasets. And finally, just a note here, because you will be sharing your own data to an algorithm, essentially, make sure that you keep your customers' privacy safe. You avoid sharing any personally identifiable information, any emails, or any other sensitive information that can potentially be a privacy breach or anything like that. Just to be on the safe side also from the ethical and the legal implications. So on the next slide, we're just giving you some tips on how to collect some of your data, specifically from Google Analytics. Google Analytics is a great tool to be able to track your visitors and your sessions and the traffic from each channel. Thankfully, if you're using LearnWorlds, and fingers crossed you are already convinced that you really have to, there is a native integration that you can use. So if you haven't opened it up yet, please activate it. It's a great tool. It will give you a lot of insight into a lot of things concerning your strategy. Here, and you will be receiving the deck after the presentation, I think sometime tomorrow probably. You can see how you can go and extract the data from GA4 in order to be able to use them later on. Please make sure that you are extracting data from multiple time frames, so you don't just include the Black Friday segment of your data. Also include past data, stuff that the algorithm can use as benchmark, so that you know if there's an uptake or in order to generate any useful insights. We're also including a handy slide on how you can extract your data from within LearnWorlds. So, Elisa, if you can go to the next slide, we're actually showing you how you can go and get your sales data and your customers' data from LearnWorlds. You will be able to use ChatGPT in order to combine those datasets and actually calculate the KPIs that we will describe in a bit. So essentially, here's a prompt in this next slide where we're asking ChatGPT to combine the data sets that we generated through LearnWorlds. Essentially, you have one big table with all the sales data and one big table with all the users' data, demographics, when they joined your product, and so on. And we're asking ChatGPT to act as a data analyst and combine those two data sets based on a common key. In our case, this is the username. And then we're asking it to perform a few tasks. So the simplest task that you can ask it to do is actually output a nice time plot, a nice line plot of your sales data. Of course, as you can see here on the right hand of the screen, Black Friday went well. We had a huge spike in new signups, which is actually what we wanted to do. And we're going to go one step further in the next slide, where we're actually asking ChatGPT to help us craft the KPIs that we will be measuring. So we're going to give it the whole context, as we said, all the extra information, the non-quantifiable stuff, all the limitations that we have in our data, as well as the datasets themselves. You can actually upload data to ChatGPT in both Excel and CSV formats. LearnWorlds output is in CSV, so you're covered there. And we're asking it to provide 5 smart KPIs. So smart, not just because it's smart to track them, but it's an acronym also for them being specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. Okay, so these are good attributes for any KPIs that you want to measure. And here you can see the output, which is actually quite thorough. It's the revenue uplift, it's the percentage of the monthly revenue that was generated within Black Friday, and the rest of them are on the next slide, where you have the conversion rate increase during the Black Friday, the average revenue per user during this period, as well as the new customer rate. So now that ChatGPT has proposed some KPIs, you of course proofread them. You see that they make sense. Perhaps you need to do a few iterations, add something, remove something, and then you ask it to actually calculate them. So you provide all the data sets that you have available. You help it combine the data sets with giving the common keys and so on and so forth. And in the next slide, you see actually the results. We did a great job this Black Friday because we followed every advice that we gave here in this webinar, and we saw a huge revenue uplift. The percentage of the revenue is high enough. The conversion rate was pumped. The average revenue per user was decreased a bit, which is okay, which is understandable because we provided some big discounts, but we also acquired a lot of new customers, and all of that are very consistent with what we set out to achieve. In our last slide, we actually saw how you can also use ChatGPT in order to get deeper insights out of your data. So we uploaded the Google Analytics dataset, and we asked it to comment on the percentage share of each traffic source. So ChatGPT is now smarter than it used to be. It keeps the context of your whole discussion within the same thread, and it actually gives you some advice on how to increase your return on investment for your next offer and your next endeavors. And hopefully you can use some of these learnings also in the business as usual part of your business, or even for your next offer. Elisa, back to you.
Thank you, George. And I feel like for me, this was a really eye-opener, because sometimes we may attempt to like create a campaign or like try to generate the assets, but if you haven't done it before, actually analyzing the reports and the results is something that is extremely helpful, especially just to calculate how things went and just maybe to schedule for a next campaign, right? So thanks, George, for that. All right, we're closing in with our webinar. So here are just a few ways that you guys can get support from LearnWells if you choose to try it out and see if that's for you. So we have our help center and a ton of other ways to get support. We have our 24/7 lovely support team. The LearnWells experts are here also to help you. We got a bunch of daily webinars that you guys can go ahead and check out based on different topics. We have the Academy with courses. We have our very own blog, a number of resources, and even the Course Masters Academy for more marketing related, let's say, courses that you can take a look at over there. And I mentioned in the beginning, of course, LearnWells runs, we run our very own campaign, our very own Black Friday campaign. We kind of like follow usually what you see over here for this use case. So of course, if you're interested, definitely keep an eye out on your inbox these next couple of days, as we will be communicating our offer. So if you're interested to try it out, feel free, and keep an eye out on your inbox for our own promotion and coupons for this Black Friday. And that's it. So thank you all very much for joining in. Thank you over to our speakers, George, Mark, and Harmony. Thank you very much for joining us from MailerLite. If any of you guys have any questions, we did try to answer those live. Otherwise, you can always reach our support team at support@learnwells.com. Of course, you are going to get the deck. If any of you is asking, we will email the presentation for you guys and the recording part of this webinar as well. So thank you all very much for joining, and we do hope this was insightful and you got an idea about how to create your campaign using all of these AI tools. Bye.